for the better part of my life. I believed that sacrifice was a currency of love, that loyalty was a reward for years of devotion. My name is Brian Keller, and I'm 48 years old. I spent 20 years working tirelessly as an operations manager at a logistics company, pouring everything I had into my family. My days began before dawn and often stretched well into the night, long after everyone else had finished dinner. Birthdays, anniversaries, school plays. I miss them all because someone had to make sure the bills were paid, the roof was secure, and the dreams we all had could be realized. And that someone, I thought, was me. My wife, Naomi, worked part-time at a small salon. But since our second child, Lena, was born, her hours were few and far between. We had 2 kids, Lena and Marcus, and I wanted to give them every opportunity one had never had. So I said yes to private school, piano lessons, college prep courses, and even the little luxuries they wanted. I gave up my hobbies, my passions, even my dreams, because I believed that's what a good husband and father did. For 2 decades, I thought they loved me for the life I had built for them. But I couldn't have been more wrong. The unraveling began just after my 48th birthday. One ordinary morning, I was called into a meeting at work. I remember sitting down, unaware that my life was about to be upended. I was told that my position had been eliminated. Just like that, 2 decades of hard work, loyalty, and sacrifice were reduced to a severance check, a sum barely enough to carry me for 2 months. I came home shaken but determined, thinking it would only be temporary. I had savings. I had investments. I would find something else. But when I told Naomi, she barely looked up from her phone. "You'll find something else," she said flatly. No comfort, no reassurance, just indifference. Weeks passed, and things only got worse. Naomi started leaving job listings on the kitchen counter. Not for positions matching my experience, but for low-paying, dead-end jobs with snide little notes like, "It's better than doing nothing." Lena, our 19-year-old daughter, began making comments too. "You've been home for a month. Are you even trying?" The word stung, but it was Naomi's words that truly broke me. One evening, I overheard her on the patio, drinking wine with her sister. She said, "If he can't be a provider, then what is he?" The word provider pierced me, like an arrow aimed straight at my heart. It was as if all the years of sacrifice, all the love I poured into this family, vanished the moment I lost my job. 2 weeks later, Naomi told me she needed space. It wasn't a request for a break. It was a thinly veiled announcement that she had already spoken to a divorce lawyer. I begged her to wait, to give me time. I had interviews lined up. I could make things work. But she looked me dead in the eye and said, "I didn't sign up for uncertainty, Brian." That night, she packed up the kids and moved in with her sister. No discussion, just a text saying she needed stability for the kids. What she didn't know was that, while I had been drowning in despair, I had also been quietly building something. After the sudden death of a friend, I started a side project, a logistics software that optimized delivery routes for small businesses. I had hired overseas developers, built a prototype, and even filed for a patent. 3 months after Naomi left, that project was acquired by a tech accelerator in Austin for $1.8 million upfront, with equity worth even more. I didn't announce it. I didn't gloat. I didn't call her. I simply moved forward. I later heard Naomi had moved in with a man named Dean, a finance guy with a flashy car and a social media feed full of gym selfies. Lena deferred college and took a part-time job at a retail store. Marcus stopped answering my texts altogether. They cut me off completely until my success began to spread. Then the calls started. Naomi left a voicemail, her tone suddenly soft. "I've been thinking. Maybe we were too hasty. We had good years. Can we talk?" Lena texted me, "Dad, I miss you. Can we meet for lunch? I don't care about the job stuff anymore." Even Marcus reached out, saying, "Mom's new boyfriend sucks. Can we talk?" But I had learned my lesson. I texted Lena, "I'm proud of you, but I won't be your punching bag when things go south. That role is retired." To Naomi, I simply replied, "You made your choice when I was down. You're not part of this chapter." 6 months later, I agreed to meet them for dinner. They thought it was going to be a reconciliation. I arrived in a tailored suit, driving a brand new electric Benz. Naomi forced a wide smile. Lena looked uneasy, and Marcus mumbled a half-hearted, "Hello." Naomi started with a rehearsed speech about wanting to try again for the kids. I let her finish, then placed a folder on the table. Inside was a breakdown of every major expense I had covered over the past 20 years. Lena's braces, Naomi's designer furniture, vacations, tuition, all of it. I looked at them, steadying my resolve. This is the man you left behind. The one you said wasn't enough. I rebuilt myself, not for you, but despite you. I'm not angry. I'm just done. I paid the bill, stood up, and walked out. Life moved on. I built my company, employing over 30 people, and bought a house by the lake. I sent birthday cards to the kids, leaving the door open only if they truly wanted to reconnect on honest terms. I thought that was the end. But Naomi came back, again, this time with a different approach. She sent me a handwritten letter, saying she'd been in therapy, had realized her mistakes, and wanted to earn back my trust, not as a wife, but as someone who once loved me, against my better judgment. I let her back into my life, cautiously. She joined me at Sunday services, volunteered at shelters, even helped organize a fundraiser. Lena reached out too, asking to intern at my company. Marcus started coming around, and we even played basketball together. It felt genuine. Then one day, Naomi told me she wanted to start a nonprofit to help women leave abusive relationships. She said she didn't need money, just my support, maybe a signature on a grant application. She showed me plans, a mission statement, supposed board members. Everything looked legitimate. Against my instincts, I signed it. 3 weeks later, I got a call. A friend asked if I knew I was listed as the CFO of a nonprofit under investigation. My heart sank. The organization was fake. The board members were fabricated. The tax ID was invalid. And over $80,000 had already been funneled into 3 personal accounts, one of which was in Marcus's name. When I confronted Naomi, she didn't even look guilty. "You're rich," she said. "You'll bounce back." I needed help. Lena turned away when I asked if she knew. Marcus claimed Naomi told him it was family money. They had used my name to commit fraud. I immediately called my lawyer, froze every account tied to me, and submitted evidence proving I had been duped. My reputation took a hit, but I recovered, and that was when I finally understood some people don't change. They just find new ways to take. So I cut them off permanently. I sent one final message. I carried you for 20 years. I forgave you once, but you never wanted healing. You wanted access. This chapter is closed. If we meet again, it'll be in court or in the past where you left me. Then I blocked them all, changed my contacts, sold the house they knew, and moved across the country. Naomi later tried to sue me, claiming I misled her into thinking we'd reconcile. The case was thrown out. Lena sent me an apology letter, but my assistant returned it unopened. Marcus tried to start a YouTube channel to expose me, but it failed. Now, I run a new company focused on ethics and fraud prevention. I share my story at conferences, not as a victim, but as a man who learned the hardest truth. Blood doesn't guarantee loyalty. Love doesn't guarantee trust. And forgiveness doesn't mean giving someone another chance to hurt you. I don't hate them, but I will never let them close again. And if you take anything from this, let it be this. When someone betrays you twice, don't waste time asking why. Just walk away and never look back.